Today, I want to discuss violence against women. Women's victimization rates are higher than men's in rape, sexual assault, and intimate partner violence. NCVS data found in 2014, 90% of women were victims of rape and sexual assault. 79% of all non-lethal violence committed by intimates, and 79% of all homicides committed by intimates. Almost one-third of women have been physically or sexually assaulted by a former or current spouse. Women, however, are less likely than men to be victims of police brutality. This is due to the socialization differences in aggressiveness. Women don't show as much anger as men, and police may not want to hit a female because of notions of chivalry and embarrassment. Women do experience police sexual violence, or PSV. Female suspects are subject to rape, sexual assault, and unnecessary strip searches by male officers. In 2005 to 2017, a Google-based study discovered arrests of 398 police officers for PSV in 43 states. The officers were accused of committing 548 acts of police sexual violence, half on duty and half off duty. PSV has been explained by three factors: male officers' sexist ideology, the power of differential between policemen and female citizens, and the opportunity to commit PSV. Is violence against women psychological or sociological? The psychological perspective assumes that most offenders have psychological issues that predisposes them to violence. The sociological perspective assumes that the structural and cultural roots of violence are a factor. Gender inequality is a key point in violence against women. Men have 10 to 20 times more testosterone than women, which is why men feel and act more aggressive than women. Use of violence against women by men were driven by gender inequality, childhood experiences, and masculinity. Some risk factors for intimate partner violence and sexual violence are lower levels of education, a history of exposure to child maltreatment, witnessing family violence, antisocial personality disorder, harmful use of alcohol, harmful masculine behaviors, having multiple partners, attitudes that condone violence, a community that holds men to a higher status than women, and a low level of gender equality. Today I'm going to bring on a guest to talk about predispositions of violence against women for men. And my guest today is going to be Erin Mendoza. Now, Erin comes from a single parent home who had previously experienced some family violence. So why don't you tell us about that, Erin?
Well, it goes back to my father. He was abusive towards my mother and towards me mainly because I looked like him. I think the reason he was like that because I remind him so much about himself, and it angered him and made him, a very violent person.
Would you say your father had an impact on who you are today?
In some ways, yeah. Yeah, I only knew him till I was about 7, maybe 8.
And your brother also suffers from bipolar disorder. Would you say that created a lot of violence in the home due to manic episodes?
My brother didn't start having serious manic episodes probably after my dad left because he was really close to my dad. And that was actually my dad's favorite child.
And would you say because of all that, you're the kind of man who condones violence?
I guess it depends on the situation. I mean, I don't say you should just go around punching people, but I feel some type of way when people probably disrespect your mother, your siblings, or call you out and challenge you.
And have you ever experienced violence with women or against women?
No.
And
not me.
Even
not
though
personally.
you have these predispositions that you could experience violence against women, what do you think it was for you that steered you away from that kind of situation, or being the kind of person who has violence against women? What do you say changed that for you?
Uh, from me not wanting to go down that path, I would say probably my mom. My mom showed me how to treat women and how to respect women, but also that violence towards women wasn't okay. Like, the normal thing you learn from your parents, don't hit that girl back if she hits you, type of thing. When I was little.
So, do you think that even though you were predisposed to violence against women, that there were things that impacted other things in cultural roots that impacted you not being violent towards women, such as, what was socially acceptable, kind
Well,
of the
yeah, you were
morals that
told
your
in
mom
school not
implemented
to do that.
to you?
And then my mom, I was raised by all women, so I mean, you had my mother, and then you had my sister, and my sister's the oldest out of all of us. So that's two women that are taking care of us, and my sister's taking over the role of being the father. So it's kind of like my sister's my dad, and my mom's my mother. So we all looked up as both of them as our parents.
And would you say that if your father was still around, that things may have turned out differently for you?
Yeah, I think I would have been a lot more violent.
Okay,
I
that's
do
all.
believe that.
Thank you.